Hey, what's up, DNC Performance? We're back. Kind of second video for today. We left off with running the oil pressure sensor wire up and in. I also pulled up all the what's the other one? Vintage Air stuff. And this is a trinary switch, I guess is what they're calling it. I don't know how that works. But what it showed was the blue wire from the AC, which is this one here, goes to one blue wire. Then the black with the green goes to the compressor wire. Then the other blue goes to the fan relay. The other black with the green goes to a fan relay, which I don't really understand all of that in full. But I may end up calling them and see if yeah, I'm not really sure, but I may end up calling them, get a little better clarification on that part. And then all I have is the large red, which showed ignition wires and battery wires. So I'm not really sure. This must be ignition wires in here wrapped up. And this is a battery wire. So I have to look at this because it's a little confusing how they have this taped up, but it feels like there's two wires here. I mean, there's something going on right here. It's got a little pregnancy in it. Actually, it feels like wires are double over. I'm going to end up cutting this part. And what I may end up doing is actually taking this wire and stringing it along the back to this side. And then I just have these three wires that'll come across the front in this harness over here that I taped up and everything. I'll just loom up a new harness to come across. And these will be the two fans, which will technically end up being three fans. I'll trigger all three relays with the two wires. Well, I'll trigger one relay with one wire and then the other two relays with one wire. And then I'll feed them back over to the fans, all three fans. Remember, we got our main electric engine fan here, and then we have the two pusher fans in here. So I'll get all of this stuff finished up today. I have the terminals, I have the skinny wire, so we should have pretty much everything done as far as the wiring and everything. Get it back running. That's my big goal, is to get it running and ready to finish up the tune on the car and get it back to send so him and his kids can go out and enjoy it. Okay, so honestly, I completely forgot where I left off with the first part, and I could have watched it, but I deleted it off my phone. But anyway, so I started with bringing the power wire over to the fuse box. So I did that. I ran it up in here and down. I also tied the main fan in. So that's this droopy harness here, which I got a zip tied up in here. It's really hard with this side because they have a screw that comes through the core support for this bracket. Well, they ended up going through the radiator mount, so you can't get this side of the radiator off. Makes it a little bit of a pain in the butt. But I brought all those wires over. The fan wires I brought over. The 12 volt ignition wire I brought. And that ends up here. So what I ended up doing was putting this little junction block, and I tied the factory ignition wire on one side, and then my two going to the other side onto there. Actually, no. One goes to this fuse box, one goes to that fuse box. Sorry. I get confused easily. Then I started pinning out this box. I already have the relay for the intercooler pump is in. I gotta put the fuse back for that. I took the fuse out so it doesn't run. But the pump runs. The main fan runs. That's wired into one relay. And then off another relay, I have these two wires coming, a ground and a hot, that I'm going to tie into the two front fans. They're a smaller draw on those fans, so I can run off of a 40 amp relay to both of those, or like 15 amp draw. And then I went ahead and turned the key on. That water pump comes on. That fan comes on. I haven't tested these fans yet. The one issue I had was the fuel pump didn't come on, which you see that fuse holder here is actually the fuel pump. Those terminals I got were wrong. These are some weird, I don't even know the number on them. They're not any kind of Metro Pack or anything. They're really, really weird. And the only ones I could find were like 2 to 3 weeks to be delivered. So I don't want to wait, and I know Sen doesn't want to wait. So I went ahead and I just tied that wire in directly to the battery post on the other side. So I can make the fuel pump work. I think I just have to change around the pins. I think I mixed up a couple of the pins. So I got to double check what I did there, and then make sure that the ECU is triggering the fan, which is like a green wire. I actually think it's this green one here, down there. I think it's pin 9 on the red, pretty sure. But I got that done. Well, I haven't played with that, but I got all of that wiring done, so everything is powered now. So then I went ahead and I used my power probe. It's here somewhere, right here. I used my power probe and applied 12 volts to the pump, pressurized the rail, went over, I hit the key, it fired right up. So I went ahead and I extended the TPS and the IAC to the passenger side because they were really short over here. So I extended all of those, loomed them, and then, like I had said, I put a P-clamp right on the blower bolt. So that holds them good. And then I just kind of zip tied them here just to kind of keep it from coming forward, which it should be good. I did not get a chance to get inside and do the oil pressure, the OBD port. I focused mainly trying to get everything 100% out here finally. And I keep saying I'm almost, but then I forget. Like I forgot the MAF sensor. So I pulled out the wiring for whatever it was. Don't remember now. Yeah, I had pulled 1 or 2 wires all the way back out to this side for something. Man, I wish I could remember. I don't remember. But anyways, I forgot to pull the MAF plug wires out. So I went ahead and I pulled them all the way back out, undid the whole loom, redid the whole loom in like the fabric tape as much as I could. Anyways, I'm almost out. I don't know why I bought one roll. But anyway, so I got those tied in, plugged into here. So that is engine wise, other than the fuel pump, but engine wise, 100% done. Main fan done. Figure out the fuel pump, that'll be 100%. Tie in these 4 wires to these 2 wires. That'll be done. Then I just got to jump inside. I emailed Vintage Air to try and get an idea on what system this is, so that I can get the correct wiring diagram for it. And then, because I pulled these back out. This is like their main harness. This one here. I pulled this one back out through the firewall. I know the blue one has to go, but I'm going to cut all this tape off all the way up into here. So I know what wire is what, because they have 2 whites listed. Whereas these are tied together. So I want to make sure I get it 100% right, how it's supposed to be. The 2 reds, you know, I want to know, is there one ignition and one is battery? I'd imagine one is ignition, one is battery. They had both of them on the same terminal on that circuit breaker. So I don't want to do that. And I don't see like an inline fuse in here. So I think that was cut out, because in the diagram it shows an inline fuse like on their harness. So I think the inline fuse got cut out, which, you know, that's fine. I could deal with that. But I believe one thick white one is a ground, and the other thin white one, I don't know, is for like programming or something. You can program this to do something. I'm not 100%. See if we can see the, oh, look at that, 246204 PUA. So that might tell me something. I don't see another tag up in there. Bunch of wires. Yeah, I don't see another tag up in there, but so I got to do that. I got the OBD port here. I just have to see how there's kind of a cream and a white. I didn't have a cream and a white, but I believe the longer one is the cream colored wire, because the ends were more of the same color, like that. And then this white one will go to this white one. I have to extend them over a little bit, the 2 black and the brown. So, and then I'm going to mount the port. So there's one screw hole right there, and there's the start of another one. That one will work there, and then I'll make another one. Whoops. Another one. There. That way his port's not near his knee, not near the passenger knee, easily accessible from both sides. His Dakota digital plug will still plug into it a little bit neater than it was. Now it'll be hidden kind of here, whereas it was dangling, I think, if I remember correct. It was kind of dangling. So I'll get that mounted up there. Tomorrow the goal is fuel pump, get that 100% figured out, if it's wiring me or can't get up, or something with in the tune, because the way his pump was wired before was key on, pump came on, and there's no need for that. That's why the ECU has pump capability. So I'm gonna get that done. Then the 2 fans out there, once all of that is done, that's everything out there other than the AC stuff, which is a separate system in itself. But then I can come in, get the OBD port hooked up, get the oil pressure hooked up, figure out what these wires are for. They weren't really hooked to anything that I can remember. No, they were. Yeah. This is CAN bus. No, I can't remember now. But I don't know. I'll figure out where those go. I believe they go to that Dakota box. I just have to double check. Then I got to figure out the Dakota box with that one wire being in the wrong spot. I remember that. So tomorrow, I believe, as long as I'm here all day, because we do have to run to a court thing real quick. Just got to file some papers. But I believe my son stole my cleaner. They were down here helping me with some plumbing stuff at a different unit. But anyways, I believe if I get the fans and the fuel pump, that's everything out here, I get that stuff figured out, that's 100% back to, I guess you could say back to when the car got here, but better, because the wiring is totally cleaned up, a lot neater, a lot of issues taken care of before they come up. It runs, so I'm happy it runs. That means this harness is working. Yeah, and then on to tuning. I'm going to message Justin tonight. I think it's Jonzin, Jonzin, I believe, tuning. I'm going to message him tonight and let him know that I should be ready day after tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, so I mean, we'll get it tuned, and then Sen can take his kids to go get ice cream. A lot of ice cream. But he'll be able to take the car, drive it around, and move forward with other things he might want to do, or, you know, whatever he wants to choose. But that's it for this one. Another long one, a little bit long. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed and watching the videos. Share as much as you can. We got super clean subscribed. That's pretty awesome. So that's it for this one. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Have a good day.